everybody. I'm BJ Flagg.
And I'm Rich G, and this is episode 310, Turning Tables, an interview with Rich G. Who is this guy?
Hey, you are going to love this one. It's a great day, Rich. Let's learn more about you. We've had a lot of new people join us in the last couple of months, and which we're thrilled about, absolutely thrilled about. So I thought Turning Tables, an interview with Rich G, we're ready for it.
And next week, I'm going to interview you.
Yes, and that's going to be also very informative, and we'll have a lot of fun with that one too.
Cool.
So here's some interesting facts. Rich and I went to the same high school, although did not know each other. And then about 17 years ago, I met Rich at a business networking group, and I was introduced at that by someone else who had gone to Rippewam High School. And he said, "Oh, you're going to love a couple of the different people here. Rich G also went to Rippewam." And that's how I met Rich G. At that time, a high performance coach. So we're so interested. I think we should start this whole thing off with an introduction. Give us a brief overview, Rich, of who you are and what you do.
Absolutely. Yeah. BJ and I, when we met each other at that BNI networking group, we kind of recognized that we had corollary businesses, and we helped each other from day one. So,
oh, yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So a brief overview about me.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
I'm a high performance coach, and I specialize in helping executives optimize their performance. I also guide business owners in scaling their businesses and offering leadership development programs for companies. So it's all business, but I hit three different constituencies: executives, business owners, and teams in corporate.
Yeah. And I know that you do a lot of workshops, and you also do keynote. So that's part of your background in your life, for sure.
Absolutely.
When you think about the methodology of what makes you different, what's your unique selling proposition? We always nail everybody on this. Now I'm nailing you.
I knew this is typical J question. What's your USP? I employ a unique blend of what I call evidence-based techniques, and it's derived from psychology, business strategy, and performance science. So it's a mixture. Many years. I usually start with an in-depth assessment to identify gaps and opportunities with the client. And it's followed by tailor-made interventions and regular progress tracking.
Yeah. So do you find that the people are eager at that part to kind of understand how the relationship will begin, and they're willing to really get in there?
Yeah, I start every relationship with a kickoff session where we spend 90 minutes, 2 hours of just getting to know one another. I actually do a SWOT analysis. Mm-hmm. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? And I kind of walk them through my coaching philosophy and how we're going to work together. And then we always end it with a 30, 60, 90-day plan. Because I don't coach like a therapist and go, "So what do you want to talk about today?" We actually have a roadmap laid out with goals. And so we coach to those goals every session.
That must be so reassuring when the higher ups hire you. Mm-hmm. Because they completely know exactly what you're going to do. And they're more than happy to have their C-level meet with you.
Exactly.
Because they see the plan. They're able to kind of quantify what you're doing. Speaking of different qualifications, all righty? I always love to kind of know a little bit more about this, but why you? Like, why would a person say different? You as opposed to, Mr. B coach over here?
Okay. Well, first of all, I bring 15 years of coaching experience to the table. So I'm not like one of those guys that lost their job and says, "I'm a coach now." Yes. I've been doing this for 15 years. I have certifications from Coach University, which is the largest school that graduates the most coaches in the world.
Wow.
And I also have 20 years in business management. That gives me an insider's perspective into the challenges my clients face. So I'm bringing 20 years of management experience in corporate, coupled with 15 years. In fact, I just did an analysis, and I've coached over 22,000 hours of coaching. So if you know Malcolm Gladwell's 10,000 hours makes you an expert, I have 22,000 hours.
Yeah. So you're a double expert is what
exactly.
You're
I'm also a coach. I'm the only coach out there that offers what I call always on advisory.
Yes.
So it's not just the session. I don't say at the end of each session, well, that's it. I'll talk to you in 2 weeks. I actually tell my clients, if something happens, if you need to talk to me, if you want to email me something to review, or you just want to chat, call me. I'm always on for my clients. And that's why I only work with a certain subset of clients every month.
Yeah. And you know what I find interesting about the concept of always on is when you were, I remember you placing some very high up people in a social media platform, and the person was going through some major interviews, and you said, no, always call, always email. We're going to land it, and I'll be right along with you. And that type of support is it's shocking in this day and age. Somebody will not get back to you for 2 days. And when you're doing something as high level as that, you need your coach to be on that level.
Yeah.
So I'm always impressed with that.
Yeah. A lot of executives have things, they just want to talk to me. I usually get the "am I crazy" calls, and I go, no, you're not crazy. No, or it's usually a personnel issue, or it's a client issue,
right?
Or it's a boss issue, or it's problems with somebody, a colleague that they're having, personality issue, and they go, Rich, what do you think I should do? And what we do together is, I'm not a psychiatrist, but what we do is try to separate the emotion from the facts.
Yes.
And start to look at what their options are. Here are your options. You could go this direction. I just did this with someone this morning. They were talking to me, I'm really not happy at my job, that I've been there for about 3 years. What should I do? And I said, well, you have 3 choices. Try and change the dynamic of where you are currently. Go back to your old job, because they actually been asking for him to come.
Oh my gosh.
Or look for something new. And I said, you have 3 options. And so let's look at each one. And I try to subtract or remove that emotional aspect and think about it more logically, more factually. And we usually come out with a decision and an action plan.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Now, let's talk case studies for a second.
Sure.
Give me one that shows a real world impact, like something that you found to be just such a great solution. What was one that kind of hit you?
Well, I have just recently, one of my executives I coached told me she saw a 40% increase in their team's productivity within 3 months.
Wow.
They did an analysis. It was sales. It was a sales team. They did an analysis before we started coaching, and that's why she hired me as a coach, and then saw a tremendous increase in, and they said, it really was people caring. It was giving her techniques to teach her people.
To teach her people. I found you coaching me put me in a clarity mode. Clarity. And I became more direct with talking to my team and saying, hey, what are we going to do? Here's our objectives. Let's get to it. And just being that more direct, I too experienced the same type of increase. So awesome.
Yeah, it's the term we use, coaches use. It's called intentional, because most of the time when we're running a business or we're in our career, we go into cruise control. We're just maintenance mode. Just get the stuff done, pump it in, pump it out. And that's not a bad thing. But sometimes we need to get intentional about our career or about our business and start figuring out, how do we make directional moves that are going to affect us in the future? And that's what I do as a coach. I help you do that.
Yeah. And I remember you had a small business scale story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fill me in on that one,
Yeah.
because I love that.
I've been working with this client for over 4 years.
Oh, wow.
And he started out very small business. He only had 2 employees.
Mm-hmm.
And over the last 4 to 5 years, he scaled up to 30 employees.
Oh, my goodness.
And a large part of that is giving him permission to hire more people. It's always scary. Like, oh my God, what happens if business goes down? And I kept saying, your business isn't going down. Let's keep tracking your business. It keeps going up, and you need more people to service your customers. And he just kept hiring. Now he's at 30, and he's past that fear of hiring people.
Right. That's behind him now.
It's always scary because you feel as a manager, you have people's lives in your hand.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it's just a job. So
there we go. Now, when you're talking about offerings, I know for a fact that, you have many packages and programs that really work so well for people, and you do a lot of customization. But talk about that a little bit. Like, how do you structure somebody comes to work with you?
Got it. I'm glad you're asking this, because one of the big questions that I get from a lot of prospects is, what kind of curriculum do you have? And I go, I really don't have a curriculum, because every person that I work with, it's highly customized and bespoke to their needs. Mm-hmm. So I literally bring a quiver of arrows. And once we figure out what the issues are, what the problems and opportunities, I then pull from my quiver my tools, techniques, and things to help you move forward. So I'm not like those coaches that go, well, I have a 10-step process that I'm going to walk you through. And it's like, no. So I offer different tiers of engagement. So primarily, I have a 6 and 12-month coaching program for corporate leadership for executives. Mm-hmm. I also have leadership development workshops that I work with large teams, and large teams meaning 5 to 10, 15 people that need training. In fact, last year, I ran a series of monthly webinars to about 80 managers for a bank, a local bank, a very large bank. But they had me teach sales and leadership techniques to those managers. And it was great. We met every month online, and I did a workshop. So everybody would dial in, and I'd get 80 managers doing that. So it was wonderful. Yeah. And again, I always say all of my clients get access to my always on advisory, and they get a library of resources where I recommend books, articles, tools. And I also do assessments. The big thing when I start out with certain executives, we'll do a 360 leadership assessment where I'll interview their superiors, some of their peers, and some of their subordinates, their direct reports, and put together a comprehensive overview of where their strengths are and where the areas that need improvement. And I put it into a report. So that gives us a great kickoff to our coaching, because it defines where we need to work.
Yeah. And I think the most impressive part of that, again, back to the roadmap, it gives you a roadmap. And I think when people are freaked out and don't know where to go or what to do, the roadmap just comes back. And it is awesome. Now, in conclusion, I'd like you to give us your mission. what do
My
you
mission.
want to tell the
My
folks?
mission.
Yes.
So leap tall buildings in a single bound. My ultimate goal is to help my clients unlock their full potential. That's the biggest thing. We have so much potential, and what happens is that we let interference get in the way. So if I unlock your full potential, then your performance is off the charts. I also help you achieve your career ambitions. We all have wishes. We all see where we want our career to go, and we're knocked down constantly by certain things that happen in our life, by bad bosses, by my job is to help you reach those career ambitions. And I also help you build your business to survive, to not only survive, but thrive. And if I can add to the end of that, I want my clients to have fun. And that's the thing. This isn't painful. This isn't a process. This isn't like my curriculum. We're going to have fun during the calls. We're going to not joke, but I'm going to keep it light, but we're still going to move you forward. That's the most important thing.
Right. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate you sticking with me, Rich. Because I love getting to make sure other people know all the great things that you've done. And for me, I've been able to have that experience for 17 years. So to be able to celebrate and talk a little bit more in depth about what you do is great. So thank you for sticking with me. And that's it for this week. You reach out to Rich at richg.com, and you can find me at newrenew.com.
And thanks to our editor and producer, Richard Scalzo, who always makes us sound incredible. Thank you.
Definitely. Have an unbelievable week and catch you later.